everyone, welcome back to see me again, Ajahn Tira. And today we're going to have a special guest, but I will show you later who is our special guest. Now we're gonna focus on Unit 8, how to reflect on your own ideas. If you're ready, let's get started. Okay, here, this is the learning outcome of our unit. You will be able to reflect on your own ideas and find justifications or reason for your own ideas to make it stronger, more powerful, and more logical. Think about this first. The outline. What are we going to cover? First, how to speak your ideas with reflective thinking skills. And second, we're going to focus on persuasive language that will help you to convince your friends to listen to your opinions more. Okay, here, think about this first. What is reflection and why do we need to think about it before sharing ideas? Actually, reflection means looking back at an experience or a situation and learning from it in order to improve for your next time around. It can be inferred to your thoughts when thinking back to your own ideas in the past. So look at this. This is about reflection, right? It's about your thoughts, about your ideas, thinking back about that. Okay? And take a look at this. What is reflecting on your own ideas? So it is very good because it has some benefits for you to reconsider about your ideas, whether they are reasonable, logical, critical, and creative enough when you are sharing this to your friends and your lecturers. Okay. So when you are sharing your ideas in class, try to focus on reflective thinking. What is it about? It's about taking the bigger picture and understanding all of its consequences. It doesn't mean that you're just going to simply write your idea down or sharing your ideas, but it's about reflecting on your ideas. It means truly trying to understand why you presented that idea and why that's important. Okay, so this often includes taking a look into your own feelings, reactions, and emotions about that ideas. Actually, there are three main aspects of reflection. First, being self-aware. So actually, reflection starts with self-awareness, being in touch with yourself, being in touch with your ideas, being in touch with your experiences, and what shaped your worldview or your belief. Why do you need to share this idea to your friends? Second, constantly improving. The next step of reflection is self-improvement. Once you're aware of where your strengths and weaknesses are, or when you are aware of the weaknesses of your ideas, you will know where to shift your focus. And third, empower yourself when sharing ideas. Reflection gives you power to take control and make the necessary changes in your ideas. So before sharing ideas, think about these three main aspects first. Not only these three main aspects that you need to consider when sharing ideas in group, you also need to think about persuade your friends to listen to you more and more. And I'm going to tell you the techniques that you can use to convince your friends to listen to you. Actually, the topic that I'm going to focus next is called persuasive language. Is it how we use the language to convince your friends to listen to you more and accept your ideas? Why do we need to focus on persuasive language? Actually, persuasive language can be used for making your ideas sound more reasonable, sound more logical, and more powerful. Before using this technique, you need to know what is it first. What is persuasive language? It is how language is used to persuade. That means invite or convince. So if you are the writers, if you're writing some ideas in Zoom chat, You can use numerous strategies to convince your friends to agree with the point of view that you have. Okay. Where can you find an evidence of persuasive language? It's not only in Zoom chat, it's not only in the class. Actually, there are a lot of traits of persuasive language nowadays. In the media, a lot you can see that there are a lot of persuasive language traits in the media. Where can you find? Newspaper, headline news, radio, podcast, television, advertisements, internet. Advertisement, for example, from YouTube video. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you what's like. For example, this is from the ad, right? Butter test, better health. This is called persuasive language. Butter and better. It sounds so nice, right? Butter and better. This is a part of persuasive language strategy used in the ad. Okay. How about next? What goes in the ocean goes in you. You see, goes and goes. Goes and goes. This is a part of persuasive language strategies that I'm going to tell you in detail soon in the next section. Okay? So think about the purposes of persuasive language usage. First, actually, it is used to convince your friends to buy your ideas and to listen to you. So it's very important to know how to persuade your friends to listen to you, believe in you. Second, to have your friends' attention. And third, to make a particular idea or maybe just a normal idea to be more outstanding than others. So your friends gonna buy your ideas when working in group. Before using persuasive language, you need to bear in mind that you need to answer these questions. First, how can you apply persuasive language from media with your sharing idea speaking? How can you make use of this when speaking? Second, what can be persuasive language techniques for presenting your ideas? Think about the techniques you may use. Okay, and in the next section, I'm gonna have a special guest to talk about persuasive language together with me. Stay tuned. Hi, and Jason, how are you today?
Very good. Nice to see you, Tita.
Yeah, nice to see you too. Today we're gonna focus on persuasive language. You ready?
Sure enough, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move on to this. What's the first one, Ajahn Jason? Can you read this to the students, please?
Sure. We're going to start with engaging people's feelings. We engage people's feelings, not logic or reason. If a writer can lead the audience to feel a certain way, that audiences should be more likely to agree with the writers for all aspects. For example, we might say, "Do you agree with me that?" Or you might say, "Do you think so?"
Very good. Very clear. Maybe we go to the next one. You ready?
Sure.
Yes. So this is the next one. What is it, Ajahn Jason? Can you tell our students?
This is called inclusive language. And with inclusive language, we aim to directly address the reader, either personally or as a member of a shared group. This involves using such words as us, we, you, and our. Examples would be, we all face the same problem. Or another example, I know that this product will be good for us.
Wow, sounds so impressive. I think we can move on to this one, the next one. Yeah, how about this? Can you tell students, please?
We even can use what is called exaggeration. This is to make the issue seem more important or urgent than it may otherwise be considered. For example, you might say, this lipstick is as soft as cotton. Or, if you don't buy this car, you will die. Lastly, try it and you will love it.
Wow, this one is so good as well. Very convincing. You think so?
Powerful, yes.
Yeah, very powerful. How about this one? Emphasizing. Actually, there are three main ways to emphasize or highlight on your speaking or your writing. Okay. First, repetition. Second, accumulation. And third, alliteration. Okay, we're going to go through this one by one. Okay.
Okay, we have repetition. This is repeating a single word a number of times. An example would be, we will all suffer for years to come unless we stop this government, stop them in the workplace, stop them in the polls, and stop them on election day. That is repetition.
Yeah, a lot of stop right there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. How about second one?
Accumulation. This is using many similar words in a short space. And this task requires concentration, determination, intention, and willpower. Those are 4 different words that have a similar meaning, but slightly different, but that reinforce what you're trying to say, but giving it depth at the same time. Okay.
Yes. I think it's so powerful right here. They share similar meanings: concentration, determination, intention, and willpower. Okay. How about next one, which is the last one for this section? Alliteration. What's that?
Alliteration is a fun one. This is repetition of the first sound in sequential words. For example, Mike's microphone made much music. Or another example might be, Fred's friends fried Fritos for Friday's food.
You may stop this video and try to pronounce this. This is a fun one. Okay. And this is anecdotal evidence which is related to telling a story. Was that Ajahn Jason?
Right. An anecdote is a tale involving real life events, a true story. Such stories can be used by writers as evidence. And a good example might be, I can tell you that as a single mother of 2, I received very little in the way of financial support during my attempts to return to full-time work. And you might use a phrase like, based on a true story.
Yeah, very nice one. I love it. How about this one? Expert opinion. What can we do with this?
Okay, with an expert opinion, what we're doing is we're trying to make a writer's position seem more credible. They may quote the opinions of experts that correspond with their own. A good example might be, my point of view that technology is important for human beings is from Ruby Reed, who recently stated, nowadays, technology has been being a giant force to lead human beings to survive in this world. And you might use a phrase like, according to Reed, 2003, it is stated that.
Very nice one. Sounds very professional. How about this one? Statistical evidence. What are we going to do about this?
Right. We always like numbers and statistics. Statistical evidence is the kind of data, for example, numerical facts, that people tend to look for when they are trying to prove a point. A good example might be, a recent survey found that 90% of students favored no school uniforms at all.
Wow, 90%. Do you agree with that?
I-
No school uniforms at
I
all.
believe it. I've
Yeah.
talked to Thai students, and I think that might be true for them. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now this is the time for exercise to check your understanding. So try to pause this video, answer this question. Which one is the way to emphasize your ideas? A, was it Ajahn Jason?
Repetition,
How about B
accumulation,
and C?
alliteration.
Yes. So what should be the answer? Actually, all are true. Yeah, true. Okay.
All 3.
All 3. Okay. So think about this. What have you learned from today? First, how to speak your ideas with reflective thinking skills. And second, persuasive language that is mainly from you. I think they will be very impressed about what they have learned from today. So from today, thank you so much. Goodbye and good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.